Welcome back to IXION. I have done some modifications to my audio settings, so my voice should be a bit more audible now. As a matter of fact, based on what I see in OBS, it should be a lot more audible, but it should still be balanced with the game audio, it would appear. So hopefully you are all happier with this setting. Also, if I accidentally don't get to mute my microphone before I cough or anything, that won't blow anyone's ears out now, which is a huge benefit to all of this. So, we are in Chapter 5, and we ended the previous episode on a very high note with a fire going on in the health center, which of course is not ideal. The first thing we are going to have to do in the episode is a couple of things, but the plan for the episode is of course to explore the system, but we'll get around to that as well. What I do want to do is move 30 workers, not non-workers, workers from Sector 3, where we have an abundance, and move them to Sector 1. Yep, and start migration. The second thing we want to do is to go to Sector 2 and turn off all of the steel mills and the polymer refinery. For now. In Sector 3, did I move? Yes, I did move. So we are going to have to go to here again, take colonists from Sector 5 to Sector 3, 400, migrate, and then vice versa, we need to migrate non-workers over to Sector 5. And I also think we are going to have to tear down some buildings here. Yeah, we do. We do have to tear down a couple of buildings here. If I can, please access the next building in the row. Thank you, game. Like so. Now, in this sector, I am going to move domotic quarters. So we are going to build 2 domotic quarters here. And how is the housing status in Sector 4? Yeah, we can remove one of these. There's a lot of things we have to do in this chapter, so I'm just preparing. This is going to be for ice, and this is not going to be for ice. And we also need to tear down this legislative strengthening center that I built in a minor panic when the exofighting dome didn't work. We also no longer need the cryonics centers. We are not going to get any pods in this chapter, except perhaps from the science missions, but I don't think we will. Let's see, anything else that I need to do currently? In the waste sector, we can turn off the mushroom walls. We don't have enough waste to feed our recycling waste treatment centers anyways currently, so that's fine. We should also move the Marduk Memorial, because people have asked me to build some of the end game stuff that I haven't built, so we shall do that, and we'll move that one down there. In Sector 1, I don't think there's anything, but yeah, we do need to go to the probe launcher, dismantle the missile countermeasure, and change it back to auto-build on probes. Okay, with all that done, we can start up the game, and we can have a look at the system around us. So this is the Ilia system. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 planetary let's call them planetary highways, shall we? Because I don't remember the name of the actual English word here. Planetary highways it is. And we start out at Palatine. We can send the Maxwell down to the
ship has arrived at its destination.
Yeah, now I can actually overpower her, but then she's quite loud in my headset, so Palatine event. Despite the interference from the intense cloud cover of Palatine, our probe was still able to detect unusually high levels of mercury on its surface. The planet's environment is toxic, but should not pose a problem for our teams. Transmission for the Maxwell's team. We have landed on Palatine near the highest registered concentrations of mercury. A huge river of the element flows over a cliff, a waterfall in silver ending in an ocean several kilometers away. That should actually be quite pretty to look at. Let's locate the source of the river, tracing the mercury back to its source. We can also send down the Montessori to collect the science here. And other than that, I think that's basically what we needed to do for now.
Population transfer complete.
Very good. We can go here and we can train automatically. Let's have a look at our docking bays. Okay, now we can move. I don't need the Marduk Memorial, do I? No, I don't need it. Just skip it. There's no need for it. Do I need that? No. No, I do not. People might be wondering why I'm tearing down things if you haven't followed the story, but there's a very good reason, trust me. We have housing for... How can we have housing for 6,216? Well, I definitely don't need that many housing. We need to get the alloys out of this sector. This is sector 3. Sector 2, stop exporting alloys. Same with sector 6. Because I needed to get out of sector 3.
A science ship team has completed a task.
The team of the Maxwell discovered the source, a huge lake of mercury from which the liquid metal flows. During survey efforts, Aaron Torgman fell into the lake and seems to have ingested large quantities of the mercury. They were saved by the team, but the mission reports detail how Aaron Torgman experienced multiple hallucinatory visions from the exposure. Aaron Torgman describes witnessing UN attacks on Dolos infrastructure, wars and famines sweeping across the earth, massive crowds being crushed together, fleeing from deadly mobs. Dolos security protocols recommend Aaron Torgman be transferred to an infirmary immediately. Well, I'm not sure that was hallucinations, to be honest. We get 115 science. And let's establish meteorological analysis infrastructure as well. We can use the Mimis burner for that. And time to send out probes. We don't particularly need any resources currently. We are... Well, actually, ice might be a...
An accident has occurred in the Tiqqun.
Of course it has. It might be interesting to get some ice eventually, but I'd rather get this stockpile here emptied before, because that's one of the reasons why it's showing that we have low quantities of ice. It's because it's moving stuff from that to that stockpile, because this isn't counted. Looking at research, let's get the Hull Temple. Also, let's see, we can unassign these. And then the deltoid bardish and triceps can be assigned in here instead. And then we can also dismantle this docking bay. We should also turn on this nuclear power plant. Put it at 75%. Trust me, we are going to have accidents in the nuclear power plants, and it is not fun when that happens. We also do not need this alternative life center. And still do need the fire station, so I'm going to have to leave them on for the time being. Can continue to tear down domotic quarters in this row. Our housing capacity is at 5880, so that's fine. We can probably also remove the electronics factory and the polymer refinery, to be honest. One thing that I do want to remove, though, is one of the steel mills. I'll probably remove 2 of them, because, yeah, I need to reclaim space. This one absolutely should be powered on, so that they can start transporting the hydrogen out of this sector. And we can build a hull temple or not an observatory, that's way too big. We don't have the hull temples unlocked yet, but we can build an observatory here. By popular request. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, that's handy. Also, for anyone wondering about stockpiles and how they function in regards to who has the responsibility for picking up the stuff, it's actually both. You probably saw there was an accident icon on this, but still trucks from this stockpile were picking up things from there. But now both of the stockpiles are manning their trucks, so there is a lot of trucks here transporting ice. I believe we can also start dismantling these cryo centers. And we now lost the rank 2 population bonus in this sector, which isn't really all that much big of a deal, since the only thing it affected was the train station.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Let's see here. Event available. Almost all of Palatine's weather systems have been infiltrated by Mercury. The resulting dense and toxic cloud cover would not prove conducive to the development of life or any potential colonization efforts. We get 58 signs from that, and let's repatriate the Maxwell and transfer Aaron Torchman to an infirmary. And the Montessori can deal with collecting the rest of the science. We should also send a probe. There is a planet there. And we're going to move the Tiqqun up to the Plutarch. There is a bit of a weird event there, which is timed. The Hull Temple has been unlocked, so we can build a Temple of the Hull. So you guys can see that one as well. We can build that here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that should work. It'll get one little tiny road bit there because I want to have space for a tier 3 battery here. If I even retain this. I don't think I will retain it. I don't think I will retain the observatory either, to be honest. Yeah, the other thing we can do is we can put food on normal in all sectors. Why was that on generous? We are producing enough food to feed 6,200 something people, so there is no need to run our sectors on restricted. 4 farms is ample with the technology upgrades. I have had many people comment on my video about the my sector layout that algae farms are much better, and while I absolutely believe they are, because you get much better logistics from them in regards to not having to go both there and in here, and especially this one, I don't see the point of me dealing with having to move all of this to algae farms. The thing with the algae farms, I don't have them yet, but the thing with the algae farms is that they all face the same way, so you can have a row of them, and you still get a nice pattern like this. And they also produce more food, but I don't need more food. This one, the fusion little water treatment center, I also haven't bothered turning that one on, and I don't think I will, so I will dismantle it. You guys have seen it. It's a good building, but there's so much ice on the in the game that I really don't feel I need it. In here, I do think I want a third science ship for this. And we can also launch a probe and find the planet up there. We have arrived at the Plutarch, but we have an incoming transmission.
Greetings, people of the VVS Tiqqun. I am Agora of the 3rd generation. We, the Ashtangites, know that you have been searching for Remus for a long time. However, we have established a delicately balanced ecosystem here on this planet that cannot suffer your presence. We remember Dolas as our first and closest ally, as the one who made the Neocon Parsheville teachings visible. Pioneers of genetic conatus, you have suffered repression, persecution, and extermination. In memory of the doors you opened for us, of our common past, it is our turn to open the door for you. There is a way for you and your crew to join us. You may be a part of our community. Shape it. We will no longer be we. You will no longer be you. We will become us. For this to happen, you will need to be genetically optimized for life on Remus. We will incorporate your genetic heritage into our society. You will follow the elder process my predecessor applied to us. You will be adapted to the planet's gravity, to photosynthesize. You will live in symbiosis with Remus. Let me be clear, humanity's mistake has been its attempts to transform ecosystems to deny its place in them. We do not terraform, we change. We are not intruders. We are a crystalline part of the ecosystem. You will live longer and work according to your abilities and passions. Our elites guide us with pragmatism, intellect, empathy, and with sensibility. We have no other interest than to follow genetic conatus. Let us show you the new cradle of humanity. Trust in genetic conatus. We follow this self-similar pattern.
Okay, so apparently they have, I don't know, transformed themselves genetically into some kind of plant-human hybrid. And Remus is down here. Let's send the Montessori to Numitor and the Maxwell to the Plutarch.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
And I think I want to save here. Like so. And then there's an event available here. First readings from Plutarch reveal the planet to be a gravitational aberration. Potential sites for analysis have been located. Exoskeleton technology will allow our team to begin planetary exploration. Fragmented transmissions from the Maxwell's crew are coming through at an extremely rapid rate. They say they have arrived on site and have been waiting for instructions for several cycles now. There is some kind of time paradigm going on this planet This reminds me of a Star Trek episode. Can't remember the name of it though. The safe bet here is to perform an intrusive analysis because that's immediate and you don't need to wait. I have had very bad results with this one. Even with the Tiqqun in orbit, this does not yield good results. And the reason I saved is because I want to try to see if we can do the middle option, but if that doesn't work, I'm going to pause and reload and do the other one. So we have the Sampo, Troy, and Mimisbrunner in this, which is the closest one to these. We can use the Sampo. Let's set up a temporary study center here. The Maxwell's team will set up a temporary study center adapted to the extreme conditions of Plutarch. Carrying out a number of tests, the team will require additional resources supplied by a cargo ship. Once the survey has been completed, the team will upload results and abandon the center. So we'll use the Sampo for that. And these should start pushing things into the docking bay. I am actually going to have to turn these on again to get rid of the iron in the docking bays. But actually, let's wait with that until this thing is done, so that the vehicles from these are not busy picking up stuff from these. We can set out another probe. There is a point of interest.
A new request awaits your attention.
Okay. Oh, we have the observatory up and running. Well, that's very pretty. That's the first time I built it myself. Administrator. The crew members are overwhelmed by the view from the observatory. Providing this opportunity to observe the beauty of space from a safe vantage point has proved beneficial for morale. It's 10% trust bonus. In the eye of the Tiqqun? Oh boy. Let's pretty it up with a couple of batteries, shall we? Did I build a temple? Yes, I did build a temple. So this is what the Hull temple looks like. Have some people down there worshipping Grinder. And a preacher up there in a yellow hard hat. Giving a sermon.
A science ship team has completed.
I have no idea if there is any specific. I don't think there's any specific stuff going on with the Hull Temple, except for the fact that it's kind of a funky building. It also has some nice upgrades in regards to providing more stability, less power. Wow, reduced to 1 from what? From 10? From 7. But it also can provide a little bit of additional hull points, 10. If you have many of them, that could add up, I suppose. Now, I haven't unlocked the algae farms. These bonuses are also quite nice. Let's unlock the algae farms. I don't think I have room to build any of them, but... So do I want to keep this here? I know that I want to build a battery there. But sadly, I cannot fit more... No, I don't want to keep it there. We have enough happiness as is in the sector, so let's dismantle it again. I don't think I want the battery there after all then, because we can have 2 batteries. I can have 1... there and 1 there, and there can even be a road between them. The Maxwell's team was able to identify a relationship between the gravitational anomalies of Plutarch and Faustian theories on time and its nonlinear nature. if you don't complete this in time, the result is that the crew dies of old age. But we got up 115 science from that, so let's just collect that. Can send off yet another probe. There. You might have noticed that I haven't bothered sending out probes for resources.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Because I don't need it. As of now. We have arrived at Numitor. Despite the low average temperatures of Numitor, abnormal heat zones have been detected in the gas planet's atmosphere. Transmission from the Montessori's team. We have entered Numitor's atmosphere. Opaque and crimson, it makes spotting anything here difficult. Extreme pressure readings have been recorded near the planet's liquid core. We await study instructions. Let's just set up a temporary floating research center here. With the help of specific adapted infrastructure, the Montessori's team will be able to study Numitor's heat zones. And we can use the Zampo for sending off the resources needed. And I just need to monitor my sectors here a bit. How is our housing capacity? 5,544. We can also do non-workers from Sector 3 to Sector 5, 400. And colonists the other way around, please. This cell housing, I do believe I have to tear that one down as well, but I'm not sure yet. We'll see. They have completed that, which means we can do this. So there's 4 left here, which means we can build a stockpile for the electronics there. Not sure if this is going to work. No, it doesn't really matter if I do that because... well, in a way it does.
Population transfer complete.
Or no, it doesn't. I can get a tier 5 battery there and a tier 5 battery there. This road can go away. Can get a tier 3 battery here. We've gotten all of the signs from Plutarch, so we can send them off to Romulus and Remus. That's amusing. Let's go to Remus. Talk to these Ashtangites. And here is another point of interest. Now... can take this down again. I wonder, do I need that road there? Or could I flip that battery over a bit? No, I don't need that road there. Stop that. Are these set to produce... Oh. No? I think I got so much alloys in here when I was trading things between sectors. Naomi Protocol commencing DDoS attack to flood Eden Vigilance Network. Hold on, I need to look up what that says. Okay. I designed the PA to be neutral, rational extensions of our administrator's personalities. Administrator, this is Kiara Kavanagh of the Sector 1 Scientific Syndicate. We are once again taking the liberty of overriding Dolo's protocols in order to contact you. We did some analysis on Eden after she was attacked by the Pyrenees' PA. We've unearthed some interesting files. Information on Remus and numerous colonization protocols were present in Eden's database from the beginning of the Tiqqun mission. And that's not all. We also discovered details on another viable exoplanet within the Ilia system, the planet Romulus. This planet has been masked so that it doesn't appear in any reports you receive. We have put in place administrative countermeasures, and we encourage you to send a team to the planet. I've heard you.
An accident has occurred in the Tiqqun.
I always love it when it happens to the health centers. The DLS center needs to go as well. There should be a lot of patients in here, 38. Huh. Now, what I'm planning on putting down here is batteries, and that's why I'm wondering if the cell housing down there needs to go. We can start counting that, I suppose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not there. They'll build that. 3, 6, 7. 3, 6, 7. 3, 6, 7. Okay, so the cell housing does not need to go because I can build a row. Actually, I could fit batteries there. So the cell housing needs to go. So I have done one of the endings before I did this recording. So I'm aware of one of the endings. I want to give you all both of the endings, and I'm kind of hoping that I can be able to do that.
Administrator, you can implement a new policy.
Why, thank you, Eden. I'm kind of hoping that I can do that in the same episode. So let's see. We can send out a probe. The only thing that I particularly feel the need to find is ice. There's a huge ice field up there. Let's send the Tiqqun to Numitor. Do we have a sign ship up at Rivercall? No, we don't. What is the Montessori doing? Oh, it's waiting for more goods over at Numitor. Didn't I build...
Ship has arrived at its destination.
Why is this powered off? Okay, let's have a chat with these Ashtangites. Oh, and we found Vulcan as well. Agora of the 3rd generation, representative of the Ashtangites, has invited us to send a delegation to Remus to observe their community and way of life on the planet. Transmission from the Maxwell's team. Administrator, we were greeted most solemnly by the Ashtangites. Their morphology is different to ours. Taller, thinner, their skin has a slight green shade to it. Atmospheric readings indicate that oxygen is present, but in insufficient quantities to support the unadapted Tiqqun crew on Remus without respiratory assistance. We have not witnessed any signs of poverty or conflict, and the population density is much lower than that of the Earth we left. Let's meet with the Ashtangites. The crew of the Maxwell will sit in meeting with them and their representatives. Can't send out another probe. Let's see if there's anything else of interest around this planet. Only carbon. There is some iron and ice up there, which I particularly don't need, nor do I need silicon. Hydrogen could be useful. Let's get that. And send out some mining ships.
A probe has completed its scan.
And I think we can remove this electronics factory too now. Let's empty out our silicon stocks and then we can remove it. Okay, so in this sector we are going to build... We need that to finish. We also need this one to empty out. Oh, science. No, this one is unknown. Don't need those. Don't need that. We can get the Frostpunk injector. Don't need that.
Team has completed a task.
Might as well get that one. We have met with the Ashtangite representatives. We were surprised at first by the limited ceremony of what seems to us a momentous occasion. Received on a beach, we were then taken to a cliff top that looked out over their ocean. Many Ashtangites joined the gathering. Some simply watched, others inspected our suits and devices. Following our exchanges with Agora and the other members of the Ashtangite hierarchy, a proposal was made. If we agree to join them, the Ashtangites will reveal the locations of temples within the Ilia system. Each temple contains a fragment of a blueprint for a bioengineering center. Constructing this on board the Tiqqun would allow us to adapt ourselves for life on Remus. Let us accept the offer of the Ashtangites. It does not lock us out of the other path. So we will transcend human nature and adapt to the planet Remus. We will join the Ashtangite community.
Administrator, a new request awaits your attention.
Where are the mining ships? Ah, they are already there. There is another request going on. Naomi Protocol, hijacking subroutines, and then we have another one of these. Let's see here. Huh. Damn you, Vanir. I hope they eat you alive, is what this says. Right. Administrator, this is Kiara Kavanagh of the Sector 1 Scientific Syndicate. Eden continues to block Romulus despite our countermeasures. I won't beat around the bush any longer. We need to shut down Eden. He's altering all the data presented to us, to you, as well as the data that crew members exchange with each other. You've probably noticed this already. Eden obeys the principles of Dolos, which today are probably more than a century out of date. Oh, we get a hint to how long has passed. She's programmed to prevent us from reaching Romulus and making a fresh start. She won't deviate from the old dreams of the long-crushed corporations that brought about the lunaglism. She's totally disconnected from what the crew, including you, have gone through and are still going through. We've successfully deposited a protocol for disconnection in the EVA airlock database. Please, Administrator, you're our only hope. Nice. There's Star Trek references, there's Star Wars references. I've heard you. Okay, so that's on the Tiqqun exterior view. You can build the Eden deactivator, or deactivation. That locks one of the paths, so we will not be doing that currently. There's ice down there, and also hydrogen. That looks like a good spot to go hanging out, actually. Now we also have the Oppenheimer. We can send the Oppenheimer to Lupercal. Am I exporting hydrogen from Sector 5? Yes, let's stop doing that.
Team has completed a task.
We have completed this one. We have received the signals for the 3 Ashtangite temples within the Ilia system. We will now be able to locate the temples with our probes. The objective? This is the way. Study Ashtangite technology. The Maxwell's team will visit different Ashtangite settlements and learn more about their technology. Agora has offered to have them accompanied by some of the Ashtangites' most efficient researchers. Okay, time to take down the DLS center as well. And we have researched the Klaus tachyon injectors. Let's build another battery there.
An accident has
Hold on.
occurred in the Tiqqun.
Isn't that the same footprint? I think that's the same footprint. In that case, I might put that down there. Although... yeah, I'll definitely put it down there. Because that'll give us room for 2 more small batteries here. You guys are probably really confused about what I'm going to do with all of these batteries.
A probe has
Can
completed
also
its
remove that
scan.
road. And send another probe down to find... oh, there's another point of interest there. Ah yes, the temples.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Let's finish this one, and we'll do Lupercal in the next episode, I think, because we're at 43.5 minutes currently, so just to avoid having a science mission split up into 2 episodes. We can also queue up more research here. Now, I should build the algae farms, but I'm not sure where to fit one. Suppose I could use this area here just to show how it looks. As soon as this thing empties.
A science ship team has completed a task.
That's the task on Numitor. After several surveys, the team of the Montessori discovered the existence of a second, much smaller and denser core of Numitor. Self-similar space particles were also detected, and the team proposes that there is a correlation between the presence of these particles and the core's strong geothermal activity. 172 science. Can you guys finish tearing down that thing? They always transport construction materials out first. Now let's see here. Under stability. Yeah, it does have the same footprint. Okay, then you're going down.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Ashtangite technology is greatly influenced by its terrestrial heritage, but often involves some sort of genetic manipulation. Oxen are used to fertilize their fields, their tails adapted for plowing. Well then, that's interesting. Trees produce fruits of considerable size, their bark serving as food for other giant aphid-like creatures. Ashtangite buildings are made from cut stone blocks, and a fungus that shapes and strengthens the structure over time. The scientists have pointed out the watchbirds that serve as lookouts and communicate in ultrasound. We have completed a detailed report that contains the knowledge the Ashtangites shared with us. And another 172 signs. I'm not sure why the game throws so much signs at us in this chapter. Leave Remus. Maxwell... Let's go to Romulus. We can also send out another probe. There was some hydrogen down here. We picked up all the signs from Lupercal.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
The crew are hallucinating, a symptom of Dead Earth sickness and UN propaganda. Romulus does not exist. Administrator, there is no planet here. Okay, well, on that note, I think we will wrap up the episode. I'm not sure if the series is going to be 1 or 2 more episodes. It depends. Depends on how much I can cramp into to one episode, or whether I have to use 2 episodes for all of it. But anyhow, if you have any questions and or comments, then please do feel free to leave those down in the comment section. Let's pause the game, make her shut up. And even if you don't have any questions or comments, then a little bit of emoji or something would also be very helpful to help out with the YouTube algorithm, of course. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you all in the next episode.